another episode of Talk Your Shine. I'm your host, Destiny, and this is a space where we talk about the news. I give y'all some real talk, and of course, I give y'all some advice at the end. On tonight's episode, we're diving into stories that have people questioning trust, safety, and accountability. From a hidden camera that allegedly exposed abuse inside a special ed classroom to an explosive device discovered near a major Alabama water supply, and growing concerns about violence on Atlanta MARTA transit system, yet again. We're also talking about Queen Latifah's rare family appearance at the AMAs, the debate over Ep.13 fuel, and older vehicles. Scientists study the smell of ancient mummies, a viral QR code tricking controversy, and online outrage surrounding an Olive Garden tip dispute and Alexa's privacy concerns. So, grab your drinks, grab you something, I don't know, something to eat, a little snack, and let's get comfortable, y'all, because this one, I'm not going to say it's a little long, but you just cover a lot. So, hey, y'all, let's move on in. Now, this next story has a lot of parents' emotional and demanding answers. A mother in Louisville says she secretly placed a hidden camera inside her 7-year-old autistic son's hair after becoming suspicious about repeated complaints from his school regarding his behavior. According to his reports, this child is nonverbal and attends Field Elementary School. His mother, Tiffany Lee, said she felt something wasn't adding up because her son's behavior at home did not match what the school was describing.
In the actual footage, it's in his hair, so you can't see it clearly. I can see this man going towards my son, his glasses, his face, Robert Ransdale.
This is the face of the guy who strangled her 10-year-old son who has autism and is nonverbal.
He had me under the impression, but I knew better. And they want me to shut up and not say his fucking name on the nose. All I can do is just keep praying and not being upset. And I'm mad as hell. People are saying to me, don't say nothing without the facts. What's the fact? The fact is, I put a camera on my son because I knew something was wrong. How can you put a camera in his head? I did. And I just paid for the camera. Didn't even know if it was going to work. Didn't even really know if the instructions was going to be accurate enough, because as a woman, sometimes I don't know. But I did it anyway.
This is exactly what great parenting looks like, because she immediately took notice to a lot of drastic changes that her son was going through, and simply just had that gut feeling that something wasn't right, especially when the school kept on calling her and saying the problem was her own child. Now, yeah, you could simply just brush it off and say, oh yeah, I'll work on it, etc. Just listen to the school. But she knew that was just a false alarm. Problem didn't lie with her own son. Problem just lied with the teacher. So she had no other choice but to install a camera on her own son, because he has long thick dreads, so she can easily just clip on a clippable camera, which ended up being the smartest thing that she could ever do, because she ended up finding firsthand how badly her own son was being mistreated by his own teacher, same teacher that's supposed to be a trusted adult. This guy has to be the sickest person I've ever heard, because he genuinely thought that he was going to be going scot-free.
After placing the cameras in his locks and sending him to school, Lee says the footage captured disturbing interactions between her son and a staff member inside a special needs classroom. Audio from the recording allegedly includes yelling, sounds of struggling, and the children screaming, while other adults were reportedly present in the room. The mother later spoke publicly saying, "No parent should ever have to see or hear this." The incident has sparked outrage online, especially among parents of autistic and nonverbal children, with many people calling for stronger protections inside special need education classrooms. Lee is now pushing for laws requiring cameras in classrooms with vulnerable students. Right, they should have been had the cameras. Officials with Jefferson County Public Schools say the incident is under investigation, and reports say the employee involved was resigned while the investigation continues. And stories like this always spark a bigger conversation, especially when it comes to protecting children who may not be able to fully communicate what's happening to them. A lot of parents online are asking, should cameras be mandatory in special need classrooms? I think so, yes. Y'all, I have my cousin. This is my baby. I love him. He's nonverbal, and I wish a teacher would. But all I'm saying is I think that the camera should be mandatory. And I think in daycares as well, because people are getting out of hand. Like, you never know what's going on. And the people that are supposed to protect and love your children, they haven't, it doesn't seem like they've been doing that lately. So, yes, I do think that we need cameras, y'all. I'm going to move on to the next one. All right, y'all, this next one sounds like a story straight out of a movie. Authorities in Alabama say an improvised explosive device described as a grenade-type bomb was discovered underwater near the Converse Reservoir Dam at Big Creek Lake in the Mobile area during a routine maintenance dive. Right. The reservoir is a major source of drinking water for roughly 350,000 people. Officials say divers inspecting the dam spotted the devices and immediately contacted law enforcement. A multi-agency team, including the FBI bomb squad, local police explosive units, and the Alabama law enforcement agencies, safely retrieved and detonated the device before anyone was hurt. So that's good, y'all. According to the Mobile Area Water, a sewer system, or MALS, the device was considered an unprecedented threat to critical infrastructures and the regional water supply. Homeland Security was also notified because the reservoir and dam are federally designed critical infrastructure sites. Now here's where people online started asking everyone more questions. Some reports claim the device may have actually been discovered weeks earlier before the public announcement was made, though officials have not fully confirmed the timeline. As of now, investigators have not publicly identified any suspects or explained how the explosive ended up under the dam in the water in the first place, but it is under investigation.
And please be sure to watch this video all the way to the end. Please like, share this video with everybody, because I'm trying to see what is a bomb doing in the bottom of a dam. Now, this dam supplied water to all of the residents in Mobile, Alabama. Now, I'm not trying to spread any fear, but this should not be taken lightly. This was a grenade, IED type of bomb. And it was found when divers were down there conducting a survey. And they was going down there trying to fix some stuff, and it was a bomb down in the water supply that supplies all the drinking water to all of Mobile, Alabama. I'm just trying to see why was the bomb there? Who put it there? How long has it been there? Was it supposed to cause a disaster? Y'all, if this bomb would have went off, it could have caused so much damage, even to the people that live close to this. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. A lot of disasters be going on. Do they be planned disasters? If a bomb was in the bottom of a dam in Alabama, it could very well be anywhere. Y'all share this.
It just reminds people how vulnerable major infrastructures can be, especially when it involves something as essential as drinking water. A lot of people online are now wondering how long the devices were there and whether security around these sites are strong enough. Right, if y'all do have security around these sites, obviously it's not strong enough if they can put a whole bomb in the water. That's crazy, y'all, and it's so dangerous. Like, if they can do that, what else can they do? America, step up your game. Moving on to the next. Okay, this next moment had fans smiling all over social media, all around the world, really, y'all. Got me smiling. At the 2026 Americans Music Award, legendary rapper and actress Queen Latifah made a rare public appearance alongside her longtime partner, choreographer Ebony Nichols, and their son. His name is Rebel. The family walked the red carpet together before the show, marking Rebel's first major red carpet appearance. Fans online were shocked because many people either didn't know Queen Latifah had a child or had never seen her son publicly before. The couple had just kept their family life extremely private over the years, which is understandable, and as she should. Reporters say Rebel is now 6 years old. Y'all, he was adorable, and I didn't know she had a son. Congratulations, girlie.
Guys, just one for me. Sorry. I was asked to get this. One more, guys, right here.
AMAs were especially meaningful because Queen Latifah was also hosting the award show, her first time returning host in more than 30 years. Hey girl, we see you. Photos and clips from the carpet quickly went viral, with many people praising the family's appearance and talking about how grown Rebel looked. And honestly, people seem really happy seeing such a private part of her life finally shared publicly, which is weird. It also sparks conversation about celebrities protecting their children from the spotlight until they're older. And I think that's a great idea. Yes, it was nice to see her son, but it wasn't necessary. Like, Queen Latifah is an amazing actress, an amazing person on her own. Like, I don't think that we need to see every aspect of everybody's life. But I do love that for her. I love that for him, and I do love that for that family. So, y'all, we're going to move on down. This topic has a lot of drivers paying extra attention at the gas pump. Across the country, more gas stations have started selling E15 fuel, gasoline blended with 15% ethanol, as lawmakers and fuel companies push for cheaper and more domestically produced fuel options. But some mechanics and drivers say the fuel may be causing problems for certain older vehicles. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, E15 is approved for most cars and light trucks made in 2001 or newer, but it is not recommended for many older cars, motorcycles, boats, or smaller engines like lawnmowers, or lawn equipment. Experts say ethanol can absorb water more easily and may wear down older rubber seals, fuel lines, and engine components that were not designed for higher ethanol blends. Some drivers only claim they're experiencing rough idling, engine knocking, fuel system corrosion, or lower gas mileages after accidentally using E15 in older vehicles. The issue has become more noticeable as the federal government expanded summertime sales of E15 in several states.
E15 is coming and it's trash. They're going to make us pay the same for crappier fuel. And PSA, if your car is older than 2001, you can't use this at all. If your car is newer and you're using it, you better make sure you're taking care of it and doing all the maintenance, because this stuff will literally ruin your car. Let's be honest, there's not a lot of people out there reading their manuals, so you better be up on your maintenance and know what's coming up. The easiest way to do that is a car maintenance app. That way it's on your phone, you get reminders, and it's specific to your car. Because the reality is, this fuel will degrade your rubber lines, absorb moisture, and can even destroy your engine. So you better be on top of this.
To help lower fuel costs, and increase fuel supply. Supporters argue the fuel can reduce pricing and support American corn farmers, while critics say many consumers still don't understand why vehicles can safely use it. Mechanics often recommend checking your owner manual before using E15, especially if you're driving an older vehicle, like 1990s or earlier. And this is why some people say the small labels on the gas pump truly matter. Yes, y'all, the fact that it is a small label is crazy. And if the gasoline ain't safe for all, like, I get like the 87 and the 91, you know what I'm saying? But if it's not, I don't understand why it's like a little bitty label. I think they're purposely messing up older cars. We're not going to get into my theories right now. We're going to move on down to the next. This next one sounds a little fake, but it's definitely real. Researchers studied ancient Egyptian mummies recently made headlines after analyzing what preserved mummies actually smell like after thousands of years later. And yes, social media immediately turned it into jokes about scientists sniffing mummy guts or eating them. The study involved researchers carefully examining the chemical compounds released by several mummies housed at the Egyptian Museum. Scientists used specialized equipment along with trained human smell testers to document the scent without the damage remains. Y'all, I was getting a phone call. I'm sorry. I hope that the last little bit recorded. And girl, I love you. Give me a second. I'm gonna call you back. According to the researchers, many of the mummies reportedly smell surprisingly pleasant, with descriptions including woody, spicy, and sweet. Experts say those scents likely come from embalming oils, waxes, resins used during the mummification process in ancient Egypt. Now, despite viral posts online exaggerating the story, there is no evidence scientists were literally eating mummy remains. The internet basically took the headline and ran wild with it. Researchers say the real goal was learning more about ancient preservation methods while helping museums better protect historical artifacts. We shouldn't be smelling them or eating them, y'all. I don't know. I just really think that is wow. I hope that they got some useful information out of this study. Okay, y'all, we're gonna move on down to the next one. I think no, it's one more after this. Let's go. People online are arguing about convenience versus control. A viral post circulating on social media claims that in a part of South Carolina, customers or residents are being required to scan a QR code in order to get fountain drinks instead of just walking up and filling up their cup the traditional way. This post sparked confusion and jokes with people saying it feels like everything is becoming an app now, while others assumed it must be tied to a cafeteria style payment or tracking system. What's actually going on appears to be more limited than the viral framing. In some facilities and modernized food service environments, including certain institutional cafeterias and concession-style setups, QR codes are being used to manage orders, control portions, or link purchases to a digital payment system that can include fountain drinks where users scan, pay, or unlock a dispensary rather than using an open self-serve setup, which I think is pathetic and crazy. Like, come on, y'all, we already charging too much for the drinks. Can we not let people refill their cup a couple of times? Like, I feel like the most people are doing is 3, which I don't think is an insane amount. Supporters of
Prepare to never get free refills again because fast food restaurants are tired of you costing them a couple cents more when you're refilling your soda. As you can see in this video, if you go to the fountain, soda does not come out unless you scan this little QR code on the side of your cup. And after you scan it, it'll say, okay, this is a one-time use and you have 20 seconds to fill up your cup. After that, the soda fountain shuts off and the next person needs to come up and scan their cup as well. And everybody knows a cup of soda costs a restaurant maybe a couple of cents. And so the fact that they're being this aggressive at stopping us from getting free refills is insane. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, my fast food restaurant is too cheap to implement an expensive system like this, well, they're probably still doing it in another roundabout way by just removing the soda fountain altogether. And if you don't believe me, just walk into your local McDonald's and you'll probably notice the self-serve soda fountain is just gone. If your location is still lucky enough to have one, well, it's not going to last long because McDonald's themselves put out a statement saying that over the next few years, they're going to completely phase out self-serve soda stations. And this is coming from the same restaurant that's now charging up to $18 for a Big Mac meal. I think whether we like it or not, systems like this where you have to scan a QR code to get the soda that you paid for are going to become the new norm. But
these systems say they reduce waste, improve security, and streamline staffing. Critics argue in another example of basic access turning into a technical requirement, especially for people who may not be comfortable with smartphones or digital payments, right? What if you don't have a phone and you want to get a drink? This is beyond crazy. At this time, there is no confirmed statewide policy in South Carolina requiring QR code scans for fountain drinks across the public spaces. It appears to be a situation tied to specific locations and going viral as a broader claim. And this is one of those stories where the internet takes a small change in one place and turns it into a whole, this is the future of everything debate overnight. And yeah, we are going to turn it into a whole internet debate overnight. That's insane. Why are we stopping people from being able to get drink? Like, it doesn't cost that much for a drink. And if I don't know, businesses aren't giving businesses anymore. They're giving very much, if we have to give you some, then we will. And I don't like that. We're moving on down. Another incident is adding to the growing concerns on Atlanta transit system. Police say a man was shot aboard a MARTA train in the Midtown area of Atlanta on Friday. Officers responded after reports of gunfire inside the train, which led to chaos and a major police presence at the station. Investigators believe the shooting may have been a targeted incident, and the victim was transported for medical treatment after being injured during the confrontation. Law enforcement launched a large multi-agency search for the suspect, temporarily shutting down part of service and surrounding the station as they worked on the scene. This comes just days after another major MARTA tragedy, the fatal stabbing of a 66-year-old woman named Margaret Swan, which I talked about her on the last episode, who was killed on a train in what authorities described as an unprovoked attack. The case alone has already triggered a federal investigation into MARTA safety and security practices, with officials now reviewing crime rates, staffing, and preventing strategies across the system. Y'all, this is like the third case. This is maybe the second one I've covered, but I keep hearing about this. What's going on with the security? Like, can we get, I guess every place is understaffed, so I can understand, but they need some help there. And honestly, people are starting to ask bigger questions, not just about what's happening in these individual cases, but whether public transit systems are keeping up with the level of security people expect when they're just trying to get to work or simply just make it home. You got to battle enough through the day. Like, you don't want to get on your ride to work or ride home and go through something like that. All right, y'all. Talk your shine, baby. Talk your shine. Okay, y'all. This is the second segment of the night. I usually give y'all like one little real talk thing, but I'm gonna do two today. All right, so this one has a lot of people riled up online and in real life too. A story blown up online involving an Olive Garden employee allegedly having around $700 in tips taken and withheld has turned into one of those internet moments where nobody's waiting for all the facts. They've already picked a side, because y'all know I have. And the side the internet chose was the employee. No hesitation. Because people are saying, hold on, I tipped somebody. Why is the money even getting touched after I leave? Right? That's that lady money. Why are we doing that? And that's the part that's got people heated. The feeling that something meant directly for the server can somehow be filtered, adjusted, or redistributed before it ever actually lands in their hands is crazy. Servers online are chiming in too, saying this is exactly what people don't see behind the scenes. Long shifts, constantly running deals with tables back to back to back, and then uncertainty about what actually makes it home at the end of the night. And regardless of how restaurants structure things like tips pooling or internal pool, and regardless of how restaurant structures things like tip pooling or internal policies, the emotional reaction. Y'all, my phone died yesterday, and then I had to go somewhere, so we're gonna start back where I came from. And regardless of how restaurants structure things like tip pooling or internal policies, the emotional reaction online is the same. I tipped that person, not the system, not the store, that person. Okay, Mama, true. And this is why this blew up, because even outside of the exact details, people are connecting it to a bigger frustration about transparency and fairness in service jobs. And this is where it stops being just a viral story and starts being about trust issues. Because when customers start questioning where their tip goes and employees start questioning whether they've actually received what they earned, that's the gap. All right, y'all. This one has people looking at their smart devices a little sideways. A viral conversation online is picking up steam after claims that an Amazon Alexa device allegedly picked up private conversations from the inside of a home and surfaced them in a way the user didn't expect, fueling fresh debate about privacy, trust, and what these devices might be capturing in the background. And the reason that this is blowing up is because people are uncomfortable with the idea that something sitting in their home could potentially pick up moments they never intended to share. Online reactions have been intense, with people saying things like, I knew it, I don't trust things like this in my house. So what, wait, hold on. Y'all, so basically, let me just break it down. So basically, people are having an issue with their Alexa and stuff picking up on what they're saying, and they feel like people, like, they getting listened to, and they not, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to be heard, if that makes sense. Okay. Because whether it's fully confirmed or not, the feeling behind it is what's spreading fast. The idea that private conversations might not feel as private as people thought. And this is where technology starts to feel personal. Because it's one thing to have conveniency in your home, it's another thing to wonder what's being picked up when you're not paying attention. And even if people don't know exactly what's true in every case, the fact that this conversation keeps coming up says a lot about the level of trust people have with their devices. Right. This is not the first time people have said something about Alexa listening to them, or some kind of service that they have listening to them say stuff. And me, myself, like, you ever been on Google? No, you ain't even been on Google. Like, you ever been talking to your friend about something, and then it come up on your Facebook or, you know, something like that? I don't know. That's how I feel. Talk your shine, baby. Talk your shine. If something feels off at work, ask questions. If something doesn't make sense with your money, speak up about it. If something in your environment doesn't feel safe, move accordingly. But don't let one viral story make you start treating every space like it's already against you. Because that kind of mindset doesn't protect you. It just drains you. And I think a lot of people confuse being aware with being on edge all the time. They're not the same thing. Awareness says, I see what's going on and I'm paying attention. Anxiety says, something is always about to go wrong. And y'all, I had that mindset for a long time. Like, I used to be like, what now? What's next? But let me tell you, if you feel like that, if you act like that, your life is always going to be like that. You can't just, I don't know, just think negatively. It's going to get you nowhere. You got to produce positive thoughts. That's the only thing that's going to, I don't know, put you in a better space, put you in a better place, put you in a better mind. All right. And the difference, something is always about to go wrong. And the difference matters. So if there's anything to take from all of this, it is this. Trust people where they show you consistency. That's a big one, y'all. Question things that don't add up, but don't carry suspicion into every room you walk into. Because you still deserve peace in the middle of the noise. Right. Y'all, don't carry, like, I don't know. My production keep looking at me or whatever. But don't carry suspicion into every room you walk into. Because, right, y'all, don't think everybody against you and everything is against you. You know, just live, y'all. Be happy, be positive. And that's the real balance. Stay smart, stay safe, and stay stress-free, y'all. That's a big one. We trying that this year. Just trying to stay positive, stay stress-free, stress. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, right? We don't shrink, we don't settle, we shine. All right, y'all. Let's have a good night. Y'all be.